Hey, how's it, Cowboy Buzz here? How you doing? All right. So, final thoughts about the draft. Draft grade C, as we'll see. Um, Team of the draft. You hear about edginess, nastiness. Attitude. Another thing is like, how we get some guys that like to brand and all that, which nothing is wrong with that. But at the same time too, I think these guys have that attitude like my branding gonna be my football play and all that. So again, nothing wrong with branding, but I think these guys have a lot of these guys have a different mentality and all that. Anyway, um, the first round we took Tyler Smith. Probably the most ones that everybody was just like, oh my god, no. Um, I would have traded up for Penning, but I would have taken some other guys when it came returning to our pick, because some of the negatives about this kid is his technique and his the penalties that he had, and and then what makes you skeptical, even more skeptical about it, is because we don't. I mean, I don't trust Philbin, you know. Um, because look at Connor Williams. Connor Williams, a penalty machine. He went from a guy, and then on top of that, like the regression of Connor Williams was he went from a guy that I thought could be on a depth chart to like, nah, he needs a fresh start someplace else. Connor McGovern became basically a fullback, and Tyler Biotis is the reason why I wanted Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, I was so high on Linderbaum, I was like, I would have taken Linderbaum instead of Tyler Smith. Um, but anyway, I mean, if this was like again, it goes to the trust factor. If this was Tony Wise or Bill Callahan a few years ago, or even freaking Mark Colombo, then we would have been like, nah, they can work with him. They can work with him. We would have been like optimistic in that sense. But this kid is a big, huge, strong kid, and he has a lot of edginess to him, and he is a terrific run blocker. And then they're gonna move him to left guard, so that probably will be a more natural position. And if that works out, then I'll explain that. If something else works out, I'll explain that a little later. But with his strong and being a better run blocker, that's gonna help out Zeke and Pollard and all that. But the thing is, like, I want to root for him too. Is when I heard that he wanted to wear um, Larry Allen's number, a lot of people saying, "Oh, he thinks he's the Larry Allen, next Larry Allen, and all that." And when I watched the interview, I was like, "Nah, I think that different. I think it's different. I think because like because he identifies with Larry Allen, he he saw that Larry Allen wasn't highly recruited and all that. He didn't get that much recruits, in fact, and so did Tyler Smith and everything. But he saw what he went through, and and then he saw the level of success, becoming an absolute legend for the Cowboys and for the NFL. You know, for to that thing. I don't think he's looked like thinking like, oh, I'm the next Larry Allen, but he's saying like, man, if I work as hard as him, if I do all the good things, and I can, and my goal is to reach up to where Larry Allen was, you know, then I want to root for the kid and all that. um, so in the second round we took Sam Williams. Uh, Other than the big red flag, the off the field stuff. Hope it doesn't come back to haunt him. You know how Cowboys already is just gonna just put a bigger spotlight on him and all that, as far as that goes. But if you look at his overall production, hell, if you look at some of the guys, the edge rushers, you can match their production because he played in the SEC. Look at some of the guys that was drafted that he went up against. He has success against them too. So, and then again, back to again, he's an edgy rusher, edgy guy, quick first, very explosive coming out and all that. But again, it goes to the trust factor. I trust Banquet can make him even better and everything, because you heard him that he wanted to work him out, and he said, "This is my guy," and all that and everything. So and seeing him like how he can move around the defensive line. Dan Quinn gonna try to get them into pass rush formations where they cause some mismatches and all that. So yeah, third round we took Jalen Tober. Um, I believe that this is the time. He's gonna have a role. He's not gonna be asked to be like awesome. I mean, will be great. I mean, he makes a lot of tough catches and all that, so he's gonna help out Dak in that sense. Um, but at the same time, too, I believe that CeeDee Lamb can be the true number one. I know a lot of people is getting excited to lose faith in CD, but I haven't yet. So I believe that. And then the thing is too that he can move around the around the um, around the formations as well. So if they start keying on CD, he can move him outside, inside, and outside, and all that. Then with Dalton Schultz being established as well too. Again, the role of him is just to when he's called upon is to make the plays. What you're hoping for is like when you heard the story that Dak called in a couple of days before the draft, you're hoping like how Dak and Cedric Wilson bonded, and they were able to have some success in playing with each other. You hopefully that this one really quick and the success can be because he's gonna have more opportunities than what Cedric Wilson had and all that. But yeah, so that's the big hope and everything. Um, so in the fourth round, we took Jake Ferguson. Again, not so much for difference with Dalton Schultz. I mean, gonna be dependable. You know, if they throw on first down, they throw it to him on first down, keep us on ahead of the chains. Um, when we wanna get to more manageable situations, he's dependable for that. I think the only difference is I think he's a more technically sound and more of a guy that has more tenacity in the want to blocking than Schultz is and all that. So we had four fifth round picks. The first one we took was Matt Waletzko, probably the most intriguing pick. I said I didn't know who he was and all that, and then I was like something bothered me about it. And so I went on the DVR and I go, oh good, I still had the Senior Bowl training stuffs and all that. So and it was so funny. I clicked play, and the one that I clicked on was him finishing up his one-on-one drill. So I rewinded and I was like, and I go, I know what I did. I was like, unless it's pending, Cowboys not gonna draft him. So I was just kind of like that. I had that mentality already. But man, this guy, he's he's a nasty blocker, and I mean big guy too. And on top of that, and he can move well too. On top of that, so this is the hope is like this is the absolute hope, and we gotta wait and see. But if he starts balling out in training camp, I'll put him up against Steele, and if he shows anything, like if he shows that he can play, and if Tyler Smith finds a home at that left guard, hell, we talk about the heir apparent to Tyron Smith. Hell, put him there, and you have a solid young left side, and all that. So yeah. Next, we took Deron Bland. Deron Bland. I mean, I thought he was a safety a little bit, but his effort is awesome. So quickly, he's gonna he's gonna be a special teams guy. But again, with his size and speed, if Dan Quinn and McKenzie can work with him and on his technique, Deshaun Wright better watch out. Jordan Lewis better watch out. So I can see him moving up the depth chart just with that alone. But again, gotta wait and see. Next is the third of the fifth round picks was Damon Clark. And now if you watch me, I know you watch Simus. Damon Clark, is a investment pick, man. Because if he was healthy right now, I would have taken him in the second round. That's how much I like this guy. Talk about sideline to sideline speed, effort, and everything like that. pairing him up with Michael Parsons. On top of that, pairing him up with his old teammate Jabril Cox. He's not as good as Jabril Cox coverage wise. I mean, he can, but not as good. But as far as hitting harder than Jabril Cox, you know, but just gotta hope. Just gotta hope he fully recovers. Then the final of the fifth round picks, the fourth of the fifth round picks. I know they gave him a nickname, but he has a nickname. But I gave him one. Probably my favorite, and a lot of people's favorite. John Redwood Ridgeway. That's what I call him. Talk about overall nasty guy. I mean, big, strong, nasty guy. I mean, he's like, I don't care about technique. I'm gonna fly some people around. I don't care if I take three guys down with me and all that. You know, like he just wants to make a mess out of everything. That's the kind of thing as well too. And that's the type of guy we need. I mean, we got bullied in some games, and we got bullied in the playoffs. So with this guy, you know, and if he gets a lot of playing time and he starts showing that two guys gotta take him on. You know, imagine Marcus Parsons blitzing behind him, and the guy and they cannot peel off. Name a running back. That list is gonna be so short on who can actually pick up Michael Parsons. So yeah, this is the favorite part of the draft, the favorite pick of the draft. And finally, in the sixth round, we took Devin Harper. Effort for days. So again, another guy and good speed. Another guy special teams. But again, with his effort and with his and his speed and his hitting, if they can work on his technique and all that, again, the trust factor with Dan Quinn is like maybe he can get play on better. And with this guy, you know, I can see him pushing Gifford and Bernard, and if he shows out as well, hell, LVE gotta watch. Yeah, he can take some snaps away from LVE. So yeah. Anyway, that's my draft review. All right, mahalo for watching. Paniolo boys. Who you with? You know who I'm with. I'm with the Dallas Cowboys.